Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that. Welcome to Relationship Communications Weekly Live. I'm Lisa DeToffel, your host, and today we're going to talk about tools for the job. We all need tools, right? So we're going to talk about a few tools. For those of you joining me for the first time, I'm the founder of Relationship Communications, where I coach and mentor established and aspiring professionals to create, grow their network. Relationship Communications Weekly Live is a tactical and practical show we do every week at the same time, every Friday morning at 10 a.m. So I hope that you'll put that on your calendar and make plans to join me every Friday morning at 10 a.m. We discuss business topics and networking topics every week on our weekly live. So we are sponsored by Tiger Eye Solution. But before I go any further, if you're joining me live, please say hello in the comments and tell me where you're coming in from. I would love to hear from you. If you're watching, we're streaming on multiple platforms. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so that you can be notified every time that we do go live. We go live multiple times a week, and I don't want you to miss anything. Okay. So we are sponsored by Tiger Eye Solution. And at Tiger Eye Solution, we work with speakers and coaches and professionals to help them grow their business so that they can enjoy being the CEO and do what they love to do within their business. And we do this virtually and in our online communities. I do have some friends joining. So let's see. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? So happy you could join me today. Stephanie is a business coach. So if you're looking for some coaching, reach out to Stephanie. She's very, very good at that. Before we dive into our topic today, I want to introduce myself because I know we do have some new people in our community. And because we've had a lot of new people joining the Facebook group and following us on YouTube. If you're not a part of our Facebook group, I invite you to join. Head on over to Facebook and type Relationship Communications in the search bar, and it should come up. It should have a banner at the top with my photo on it. We would love to welcome you to the community. We do a lot of networking in there. We do a lot of coffee chats to get to know each other and help each other for sure. Help support each other in our businesses. Awesome, awesome. Hey, Lachelle. So nice to have you with me today, and happy Friday. Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself a little bit here. This was me, oh my gosh, almost 6 years ago as a preschool teacher. This was the last classroom that I was a part of. And I learned so much being a teacher in a classroom for over 25 years. Built a lot of different relationships for sure with the children, coworkers, and definitely their parents. Because as they say, it takes a village to raise a child, and that could not be further from the truth. It definitely does take a village to raise these children for sure. So it's not just myself and my coworkers that's trying to teach these children what they need to know. It's definitely their parents, and we partner with their parents as well. Well, we did when I was in the classroom, partner with their parents to help them grow and get started on their education journey. I really, really enjoyed being in the education world. Please bear with me today. I just came back from vacation. This is my first day back in the office. So if I'm stumbling over my words, please forgive me. Trying to get back into the swing of things sometimes is a little bit difficult, right? This also was me during that 25 years. I was a single mother twice. I was married twice previously before marrying my current husband. And my first husband was a little bit controlling, and the marriage was far from normal. Although, I was married, I felt like a single mom all the time. My two boys came from that marriage, so it wasn't all bad. The marriage did last for about 13 years. Then I married my daughter's father, and that was a roller coaster ride, to say the least. A bunch of up and downs and everything in between. That marriage lasted about 4 years. And of course, my beautiful daughter came from that marriage. And now I am married to my wonderful husband, Jeff, who loves and supports me and my children in so many different ways. So although, those years were a struggle, it helped to make me who I am today. And then, of course, in 20, this is what my family looks like today. No, definitely not a single mother anymore, married to my husband, Jeff. And these are our 3 almost grown children. My daughter's still 16. She's the only one left at home. And our wonderful 2 twin grandchildren, JP and Hattie, who just turned a year old back in January. We're super excited to watch them grow. And then I have a 3rd grandchild on the way who'll be here at the end of June. So I'm excited for that as well. Then, of course, in 2018 is when I decided to start my business, Tiger Eye Solution. I did take a training program and earned a certification. So I'm a certified virtual expert in my area of specialization. Relationship management and follow-up is my area of specialty. And then, of course, after the pandemic happened in 2020, I decided to build a team for Tiger Eye Solutions. So 2021 is when my team was fully put together. We're still going strong today. We have about 11 of us, including myself, on the Tiger Eye Solution team. And we can support you and help you in so many different areas. So awesome. Great. I did have a great time on my vacation. It was short and sweet, just me and my daughter, kind of like a girls' trip. So we had a lot of fun. And Lachelle, yes, you do have 15 children. I don't know how you do it with 15 children, but kudos to you. I really respect you for that. Thank you very much for the comment of a beautiful family. Yes, I love my family dearly. So let's jump into our topic for today. The right tools for the job. You know, we're all business owners. We have different types of businesses. Even Lachelle and Stephanie that's joining me today have different types of businesses. They're both very good at what they do. You know, there's others in my community that have other diverse businesses as well. Again, excuse me for all mumbling over words as I'm trying to get back into the swing of being in the office. Vacation was fun, but it's time to get back to business, right? So today we're talking about tools that you need to run your business, okay? So a lot of people think that they need all-in-one platforms or you need to spend a lot of money on your tools. That's not necessarily the case. But today we're going to talk about how you can have all the tools you need and spend very little money on your tools, okay? Now, I did not choose the tools we're going to talk about today because they're free or practically free. I chose them because they solve the problem. These are tools that I have set in place, so they've solved my problems in my business. You know, they may solve problems for you as well in your business, depending upon what type of business it is you have. So, like I said, I just chose them because it solved the problem for me in my business, okay? So you want to choose tools to solve the problem for you in your business, right? Whatever type of business that is. So you want the tools that you choose to support you in some way, you and your business in some way, and not the other way around. Some people choose tools to invest in because they think they're going to need it, you know, in the future, or they think it's a great tool and they want to learn how to use it. But then it becomes more like a job, right? If it's not a tool that's going to serve you right now, and it's something that's going to take a lot of time for you to learn how to use, that's not the right tool for you at that given time, okay? So you don't want to choose a tool that you're going to have to take 2 weeks to learn how to use. You want to choose a tool that maybe a couple hours, maybe a day, you can learn how to use it and it's going to benefit you in your business, okay? So you don't want to be just choosing tools just to be choosing them, right? You want to make sure that you do some research first, you know, depending upon your business and what type of tools you might need for your specific business. Make sure you choose them wisely. In other words, is what I'm trying to say, okay? So you want them to support you and your business conveniently, okay? And it's not really expensive, especially if you're just getting started, all right? Also, people may buy tools that they think they're going to use in the future. Don't do that. Just don't. Do not do that. You're going to end up wasting a lot of money. Say, maybe you've been in business a year and one of your future goals is to start a podcast. And that's a great goal to have. Don't get me wrong. It is a great goal to have. And so you go ahead and invest in a platform that you're going to use for that podcast whenever you get it started. Okay. But say you're not going to start it until the summer of 2025. That's over a year away. But yet you're going to buy it now. Don't do that. Do not do that. You don't know what could change between now and the summer of 2025. And you may not get it started at that time. But yet you're still paying for this tool over here that you already purchased. Right? Don't. That's a waste of money. I promise it's a waste of money. So make sure you're purchasing the tools you need now, not something you're going to need a year or two from now. Okay. Wait till that time gets here and see if you're at the place where you need to be to where you're going to need that tool. Right. Summer of 2025, your business might not be in the place where you're ready to start a podcast. Therefore, you're still not going to be ready to use that tool. Right. So don't do that. I also want to challenge everyone to regularly check your checking account and see what money is coming in and out. Make sure that you're not getting overcharged for the tools that you're paying for. If the payment amount changes, make sure you contact, where you're purchasing that tool from or making payments to or whatever, and see what has changed to see if that tool is still serving you the best way it can serve you. Because there may be another tool that does the same thing that might be cheaper, right? Don't overspend if you don't have to overspend, okay? So having the right tools is going to make you more efficient and more productive and happier, right? So let's go through what you possibly need and what we are talking about, like a baseline tools, okay? Just a baseline of tools to help you get your business where you want it to go. In the baseline, you can just add as you need. Just buy baseline tools now, and then as your business progresses and grows as you move forward, then you can add other tools later, right? So the first thing you need is a reliable computer for sure, especially if you're working in the online space, okay? You may or may not need a printer. If you don't need a printer a lot, or you're not going to be using it and money is tight, don't get one. Okay. Just don't get one. You don't actually need a whole lot to set up an office space or a workspace. Okay. If you can afford to have a printer and a scanner, it's a good idea to get one. But if you don't need that, then don't get it right now. And in some places you can get them if you are interested in purchasing one, around $100. They're kind of not very expensive, but if you don't need one right away, put that off, get it later. And don't think that you're not in business for real if you don't have one, because that's not the case either. Okay. There are some things that you are going to need to manage as your business grows. And the first thing that's going to happen is that you're going to need to organize your digital files. If you work in the virtual space as I do, you're going to have a lot of files, whether it's customer and client files or, whatever the case may be, you're going to have files. So you can organize that in a few different places. OneDrive is one of the places. Dropbox is another. Google Drive is also another, depending upon what you have. And you don't want to just put it in your Dropbox, okay? You want it to be able to be backed up in a cloud somewhere, some way, so that it's easy for you to access and not going to get lost, okay? You also want to have organized structure within your Dropbox or OneDrive or whatever it is you're using, okay? You don't ever want to be struggling looking for stuff, okay? Now, like most people, there's an exception to personal files, right? If you also store your personal files and taxes or medical stuff, etc., things of that nature. Or your photos even, right? A lot of us have photos, right? In our phone or on our computer or whatever. Download those to your personal file and then create folders as well. Like if you do have some medical stuff, label a folder medical stuff. If you have your photos, name another folder photos. Put all your photos in there. Tax stuff, name another folder for taxes and put all your tax items in there. It's so much easier to go back and find those things when you need them if you have the information organized correctly, okay? So, of course, you want to keep your personal things and your business items separate for sure. You don't want to let it get created as a hot mess, as we like to call it here at Tiger Eye Solution. But take the time to organize it and hold yourself accountable when it comes to your client work as well. I hold myself accountable for client work. Now, my personal stuff, yes, it can be a hot mess for a little bit. I'll get in there and organize it when I can. But for client stuff, it's totally different. I'm going to keep their stuff organized for sure, because you never know when they might reach back out and they need, say you do a newsletter for them or something, and they need access to a specific one. You need to know where exactly to go to get that. You don't need to spend 30 minutes to an hour looking for it, right? That's a lot of wasted time. But if you have it organized in Dropbox, OneDrive, whatever it is you use, you know exactly where to go to get it and send it to them quickly. And you may, need to change things sometimes as well, because they, like I said, they might need access to it again at a later date. So there are a couple of ways that you can do this. Turn things into categories or folders, okay? So I have TES clients is what we like to call them, Tiger Eye Solution clients, and, my personal items, right? So everything goes into one of those, either TES for clients or my personal information. And with the client section, each client has their own folder with their name on it. Okay. So in my Dropbox, I have TES clients. Every client has a folder. Then I go into that folder and I create subfolders in that one folder for that specific client. Okay. So, of course, their main folder has the first and last name on it. Then the subfolders that I go in there and create maybe I have headshots. They send me headshots for different reasons or whatever. So I'd have a subfolder created just for their headshots, and their headshots go in that folder. Say they sent, like I said, a newsletter. I do a newsletter for them or something. Then I'm going to have a subfolder named newsletter for that same client, right? So you want to keep it really organized. The next thing we can talk about is Microsoft Office. It's another important tool, right? Some may or may not be able to use Microsoft Office, but it can be one of the baseline tools that you need. Google Suite is an alternative to Microsoft Office, but if you work with clients as I do, most everyone does have Microsoft Office. So I use both because I have some clients that use Microsoft Office and some clients that use Google Suite. So I have to have both. You may or may not need both. But make sure you have the one that you do need, right? So most clients are going to have Word and Excel and PowerPoint. Well, they may or may not need PowerPoint, but mostly do use Word and Excel. So at least have those two, because most people work with, like I said, the Microsoft Office. So you do need to have that tool set up. The next thing I want to discuss is password management. This was so important, okay? When it comes to your passwords, maybe you can remember them easily because you used your street name or your house number, maybe your grandmother's birth date and name, etc., whatever it is. But in order to be safe, it's important that you have a unique password for each thing that you log into in your business, each application that you use, okay? And hopefully your clients are going to do the same. You also need a platform to keep this very important information secured, right? Like when you're managing, like for myself, 5 to 10 clients, you may have 4 or 5 logins for each client. Am I going to remember all that information? Of course not. Yes, I may have 5 clients and they give me 6 different logins, with password and all that. I'm not going to remember any of that stuff. Half the time I don't even remember my own, for my personal accounts. So I keep that in the same place too. But, over time, if you work with a client over a specific long period of time, then, there's going to be so much more login information shared and passwords, etc. So there are several different applications that you can use to secure this information safely. Okay. NordPass is one. OnePass is another. Dashline and LastPass. I use LastPass myself, and I have been using it probably since the very beginning of my business. I know that, there's been some things in the news recently about a breach or whatever, but to my understanding, all that has been handled. So LastPass is what I use. I don't plan on leaving LastPass because I do have a lot of information in there, secured information that I need to stay in there so I don't forget it. I know where to find it, and it's safe and secure, right? So you need to go ahead and get that set up with your passwords for sure. So if and when a client sends you that specific and secured information, you're not struggling, right? Or you need to get into their platform to do some work. You're not struggling to figure out how to get into that platform, right? So if you have any questions about the tools I talked about today, or any tools for that matter, maybe you're thinking of getting XYZ tool and you're not certain if it's going to be a good fit for you and your business. If you'd like to ask me some questions around it, I'd be happy to have that conversation with you. If you have any questions about relationship communications, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about that as well. Along with relationship communications, I want to tell you a little bit about the VIP group. Oh, you're so welcome, Lachelle, for the card. Awesome. Glad you received it. Relationship management is about staying in contact with those that you have build relationships with, right? I've known Stephanie and Lachelle both for quite some time now, so I try to stay in contact with them on a regular basis. That's what she's referring to. But back to what I was talking about. Relationship Communications has a VIP group we started earlier this year. It's really, really awesome. Our next meeting is next Monday, the 8th at 7 p.m. The VIP group is a paid group to be a part of. Currently, I have a spring special going there where you can get started for only $17. $17 for the first 3 months that you're a member of the club. After that, it is $27. However, there's a lot of value with being a part of this club for sure. We meet twice a month. The first session is just a Q&A session. You bring any questions you have around the business world, professional world, or, building relationships, networking, all the things, and we answer your questions. We hold each other accountable as well. If we are struggling in a certain area or whatever, we are there to help support each other for sure. Our second meeting every month is more like a party. We come and celebrate all our accomplishments. We share, during that session as well, what our goals are for the next month. That way we can hold each other accountable the following month. Did you get XYZ completed? Or is that a goal you're still working on, right? It's a whole lot of fun to be a part of the VIP club. I hope you'll consider it. Like I said, there's a spring special going on currently to where you could get signed up and get started for only $17. So come join us, join the fun, and we'd love to see you there. There is information about that in the Facebook group, and I will be posting that later today as well. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Thank you so much, Lachelle and Stephanie, for joining me live today. If you do happen to be watching this later, please do use hashtag replay just to let me know that you are watching this at a later time. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you again soon.